Testing 1, 2, 3. Looks like we made it, yeah. Ooh. Good morning, good morning, good morning, weirdos. How are we all? Well, I hope. Well, I hope. I'm back, baby. I was gone, but now I'm back. I am back. And I am feeling exhausted, right? Right? Like I'm totally exhausted. I got multiple heaters on because I'm cold. I better drink some coffee. Looks like we made it. All right. So I got home. I don't know. Probably 1:30 early, which is unusual. Usually we get home. I'm usually at home in here no sooner than 2:30, and we got back to David's last night before 1, I believe, or about 1, which put me home pretty quick. Yeah, very cool. I love my shirt. Is that a great shirt? I wanted to get a Lily Miola shirt, but fundage. Here's my wristband from the observatory and the 21 ID wristband so that I was allowed to drink. Yeah. Mainly I was interested in smoking. Of course, there was a smoking area that David found for me, so I was able to go out and blaze some doobage. What a fun night for two guys to have out on the town. Let's see. I took the old van down to David's and met him at his house, and then from there, we look at my Secrets box. It's my time machine here. It's a little dinged up, no worse for wear. Nice. And we bailed out of town, I don't know, just a little after before 4 o'clock, I believe we left town. I got there, we threw our shit in the car, and we were gone. We had a fantastic drive out there. Minimal traffic. Took a few little detours to find a restroom and something to drink and stuff, but in doing so, we were able to miss a lot of stalled out cars that were just stacking up on the freeway. So we buzzed around them down Magnolia and then backing up over to the freeway. And like that there. The 91 to the 55 to the MacArthur Boulevard all the way down to Harbor. And then we took the same way back. We got out there just as the parking was opening and decided to grab something to eat because there wasn't going to be anything to eat in the place. So we grabbed a quick snack, and then from there we drove over and realized that we were in the wrong parking line and went over to the fast lane, the premier parking, which was great because we didn't have to wait. We were just ushered right in and parked really close to the exit. We were in a separate parking lot, so all the other people parking in general parking all had to bottleneck to get out. We jumped in the car and we were gone. We got in really quick and we got out really quick. Thank you to my daughter for getting the tickets for me. I still owe you money, but the neat thing is she did the sun's coming up. She did the premier parking for us and the fast lane because we were unfamiliar with this venue, and I wanted to have the best opportunity to get in and not have to futz around. I guess for the most part, it's such a small venue that it wasn't necessary, provided you get there and get in line early, and then you can get in early. But if you're not going to get in early, you're probably going to have to stand in the middle of an aisle somewhere. You're not going to get any place to kind of put your back or lean or set your drinks on or anything. But it was a really neat venue. Yes, to the observatory in Santa Ana. It was a really cool place, a really neat setup, balcony, a bar, big outdoor smoking area. They had 2 stages, which I thought was kind of weird, but they had another show going on when we were there seeing Lucas Nelson. Fucking heavy. Coffee, people. So real quick, I'm late this morning because I had technical difficulties. The technical difficulties were basically my own because I have been editing video all weekend and my microphones and camera unplugged so I could have my hard drives installed. And I didn't even think to go back and fix anything. So I scrambled around here for like a half an hour, 45 minutes this morning, trying to figure out what the hell I did. So I had to backward engineer all of my mistakes and then rewire a couple of things. My microphone had been working with the webcam microphone. So I had been getting a lot of back and forth feedback thing going on. I think I solved that for now. What I need is a complete technical overhaul on this because this is just way old school. So anyway, back to the last night's festivities. It's my second concert in a week. And my third drive to a show. I took my daughter and her friend Charlie to the Honda Center Monday night. And then we went to downtown Disney, my wife and I. And then after that, picked the kids up and came home. And then, of course, last night, my friend David and I went out to Santa Ana to see Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real. And they did not disappoint their promise. They were excellent again. It was a little bit longer show. They played a few more songs. At least it kind of felt like it. Lily Miola was there, so she came out and helped with her gang and did a song. And then Lucas Nelson started off the show helping her do her first song. So that was really neat. She's got a very interesting sound, very angelic, like most of the artists today. I'm glad we've moved past the Adeles and the Taylor Swifts and all of the other ones and the Beyoncés, and let's get into something a little more real. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with those artists per se, but I mean, let's get some people up there who just want to perform for the sake of performing, not to become an ultra diva, right? And I don't see this happening to any of these acts that I've been seeing. They're pretty laid back. Lily Miola and Lucas Nelson and POTR, they are really laid back, and that's what I dig about it. Really laid back. Dude, he's so laid back, man. So microphone levels might be weird. I don't know. Am I coming in better? Am I coming in stronger now? Hey, what's going on? Hey. All right. So anybody, Yeah, let me know what it sounds like. Oh, I want to show you something else. I got a keychain and I got a beer cozy. Let me show you my keychain and beer cozy. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just totally beautiful? It's just totally beautiful, man. So I grabbed some more footage while I was there. Of course, at the end of the show, he did Smile again on the piano as an encore. And that was sweet. I didn't get to hear Out in LA again. Of course, I told David, I'll just die if they play Out in LA. So he told me that I get to live another year. I get to live again because they didn't play it. So he's right. I get to actually go to another show and see if they're going to play it there. I'd really like the LA show tonight. Or is it tomorrow night? I think it's tonight. Yeah, they would probably play Out in LA there, right? Even though Santa Ana's pretty close. Maybe they don't play it in California because they're already out in LA. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. So if you were here with me the other day preparing, I think the last thing I was preparing on Facebook was my Kretzbox time machine. In my Kretzbox time machine, I keep a roach clip. This is, and I'm going to get it close to the camera because this is an old school roach clip. All right. Is that cool or what? Of course, a book of matches, a pack of original Zig Zags, and then, of course, a couple of joints once they're rolled up. That is my Kretzbox time machine. My good old Kretzbox time machine. Now, so I take this with me when I want to time travel at a mobile location, right? What does it mean, a time machine? I don't get it. It's a box of fucking pot. I don't get it. So yeah. So like back in the day, we used to keep our weed in a Kretzbox, joints rolled up. People put just about everything. They'd set it up for a little cocaine kit. They'd put a little mirror in there, a little bindle, a little blade, a little toot, so you could set up a little cocaine kit. Yeah, I mean, it was used for so much. When I was a little kid, I wanted one so that I could put my little knick-knack thingies in it, right? So that's my little portable time machine. Sometimes when I go over to a friend's house and I'm sitting there and I want to set up and jam, I'll just open up my little box and I'll just set it there on the table next to me. And now I don't even have to smoke my joint, man, and I'm time traveling, dude. It's fucking awesome. So, I don't do song lists, set lists, and that kind of stuff. I don't get all fanatical in that. I'll probably look one up at some point. But I try, aside from like trying to record a few things and take a few pictures, I try to just let myself enjoy the show. I want the show to be up here and in here, not in here. All right. I don't want to have to remember the concert through the screen of the phone because I was recording the whole time. All right. There was a lot of people doing that. As most concerts. But there were a few people who were constantly recording. And I just wanted a few samples to share. So I don't think that I'm going to make any Lucas Nelson reels because I don't think that the last reel that I made of Lucas Nelson, the YouTube short that I made for Lucas Nelson was pulled from YouTube, but the entire video of the same, the entire video that I used for the short, the whole 4 minutes, I made a video out of that, and it's still up and viewable, but the short was removed. So I have to assume that his camp doesn't want his music made into shorts. He would prefer that the whole thing be viewed rather than just a little snippet of it. And that's cool. If that's the case, I'm totally on board with that. I will more than likely be uploading footage, not of this show, but of last year's show. I think I have some more footage of last year's show. I will probably dig some of that up, and then the next videos that I upload for concerts will be older concerts, because I think, out of respect for the tour that's happening now, it's probably not a good idea that I just keep throwing everything. Okay, this is what I saw last night, and here you go see. Now you can see it. Now you don't have to go to the show. I don't want to do that. I want to tease people into wanting to go to see these shows. If you haven't seen Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real, you really must do it. It's unlike any other artist. It's such an eclectic mix. It's such an eclectic auditory mix of sounds and musical genres that just kind of blend together into Lucas Nelson. He kind of, with his feet rooted in the present, he totally reaches back and brings up music from the past through his own new soul, right? He takes all these old styles of music and just takes it into his mixer and beats it around and says, check this out, this is new with an old feel. And that's what I really get off about Lucas Nelson, is it's music of an old soul. It really is. Everything about it, his guitar playing, it is his father must have told him to keep it simple. Simplicity is best. You can say so much with less, and the more you put into it, the less you can hear. The meaning is diminished when you just keep adding layers and layers and layers and layers of notes and notes and music and music and notes. And while his guitar playing is somewhat rudimentary, it's guitar godlike, right? Because it is such a throwback to early guitar playing. It's a beautiful thing. It is. And I would have to say that, if you can go to see a Lucas Nelson show or go see the Nelson family, you're going to get Lucas Nelson, Micah Nelson, Willie Nelson, a whole bunch of Nelson. Yeah, you won't get Rick Nelson. You won't get Ricky Nelson. You won't get Rick Nielsen. You won't get Nilsson, Schmilson, but you will get Nelson. And that, oh man, yeah. So the end of the month, 24th, I believe, out here at Pappy and Harriet's in Pioneer Town, Particle Kid is playing. Particle Kid is Micah Nelson, Lucas Nelson's brother. I don't know the age difference between the two, who's older, who's younger. I think Lucas is younger. But I don't know. So yeah, the band was phenomenal. POTR, the promise of the real. They are the real deal. It is music for the ages. I mean, it is really every single song that comes out of that group is it's going to wind up a piece of history. It really is. The Nelson family tradition of making music has excelled with Lucas Nelson. He's taken everything that his father has offered and given and taught, and has taken it to heart, really, everything. When he sings his own songs, or he sings his father's songs, or he sings a Paul Simon song with Lily Miola, everything that he does is just phenomenally retro and vintage, yet so now. It's just, listen to it. Find him on Spotify and listen to it. That's all I can say. It's just, you won't be disappointed with any single song that you listen to. And I told David, I said, it doesn't matter what he plays. All right. It doesn't matter what he plays, whether it's my favorite or not. It's going to be an awesome fucking show. And I was right. He could have played anything last night. He played, oh man, what did he play last night? Did I record any of it? Let me see if I recorded any of it. I really want to say that I recorded a piece of this song that oh, Carolina. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so like, oh, okay. It was an older country song. I'll have to ask David at some point, and I'll let you know tomorrow or at some point if I remember it. It took me by surprise. I mean, I was like, wow. And now I can't even remember it. And last night was just so awesome. I didn't smoke as much weed as I thought I was going to smoke. I left my bat box sneaker tote in the car because I didn't want to get it taken away. So I just rolled a couple of joints and stuck them in my pocket, left my time machine because I didn't want to get that taken away. So I left that in the car. I even took a book of matches in case they were going to take my lighter. So we got in there early. We found a nice place to stand up against a wall in front of us, and it was right near the path. So there was a little corner pony wall where there was a trash can set in this corner. So we thought, all right, well, we're going to hang out here, and then when the lights dim, we're going to move this trash can chuck it inside the other one and just double up the cans and get it out of the way. So we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And there's a couple of girls, ladies next to us on our right. And they're pretty cool, you know, and they're mellow, and they let us know that this is their spot, you know, and it's like, it's cool, you know. So after a few minutes, you know, we're all old buddies. It turns out that this lady was standing right next to us, graduated the same year that I did from high school, which was, you know, pretty neat. And she was a really nice, cool person, really mellow. I mean, she was like one of the people that we grew up with. So at some point I even went out, when he found the smoking area and let me know, I ran out there and puffed half a joint down and then set it down, and then went in and told her, hey, look, there's a half a joint out there, go out and, you know. So she went out and came back and said, I couldn't find a lighter. So I gave her my matches and sent her back, and she went out and puffed that half a J. She probably took the rest home with her. I would have back in the day. So we're waiting for the show to start so we can ditch this trash can. And there's these steps going up away from the stage, right down the center. And the very last set of steps that go up into an actual staircase, there's this light that goes around this level that's an actual step. And this light blinds everyone, so you can't see that it's a step, and everybody keeps tripping over this thing, right? I told the security guard who kept catching people as they were falling, I said, dude, you need to stand with 1 foot down here and 1 foot up here, so that as people walk by, they can see that there's a level change, right? If they're walking by you and you're standing right there with 1 foot up and 1 foot down, they're going to obviously see that they need to step up. And he did that for a while. And when he did that, nobody tripped. As soon as he walked away or turned his back or put his foot down so that he was on level ground, boom, people were falling over, hitting. I mean, they would just literally face first. One guy, old guy, the last time fell face first, literally into the other set of stairs. Yeah, I mean, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen, really. You know, the lights should not be on the top of the step. They should be on the front of the step under a lip, so that the light is aiming down at the floor beneath the step, not on the top of the step. All that does is blind you. Whoever did that, complete fucking moron. I want to see that changed before I go there again, because that was nah. This guy almost killed himself. I tripped on it and caught myself. If it wasn't for my cane, I would have been down. So yeah, so we're standing there and waiting for the lights to go down so we can move this trash can. And this lady shows up with a stool, and she just shows up and she says, hey, do you mind if I move that trash can and put my stool there for my daughter? She's disabled and she needs a place to sit. And they gave me the stool. So it's like, yeah, sure, no problem, dude. We're just waiting so we could move this trash can. Before I could finish saying that, she said, don't worry about it. She grabbed the trash can, moved it down, and put it out of the way. I was like, wow, cool. So yeah, put your daughter there, you know, cool beans, whatever. And so we get her situated, you know, and everything, and we're all starting to get to know each other. And a security guard comes up and says, look, I told you that you could use that stool. I didn't say you could move it. And they went back and forth and argued about it. And so rather than take the stool and put it way back here where they said you could use it, they decided to get rid of the stool and just stay here in the corner with us, where it was safe for her 30-year-old daughter with Downs. So she needed to feel safe, and she had to be able to put on her headphones to cancel out a lot of the noise, so she'd only hear the music, right? And when she first got there, the lady's daughter was really, you know, really kind of closed off and withdrawn and kind of worried and sad. You know, she has Downs, so she was going through everything that is. And so I look the way I do so that I can keep people at bay. People don't approach me because of the way I look, and I like that. That's my barrier. That's my wall. But all I have to do is give my usual smile and my pleasant voice, and within a few minutes, this lady was the girl with Downs was smiling. She was hanging out. She was smiling. Her mother went and got a couple of little margaritas. So as soon as she had a little sip off her margarita, she was feeling in a better mood. But she was still kind of closed off and withdrawn. Um, so yeah, I just kept trying to put them both at ease by letting them know that, this is no problem at all. We all got to work together. Let's share. And I was just trying to be a nice guy, which is what I try to do when I go out into the world, is just try to be as nice as possible anymore, so that it makes for a better experience going out anywhere, even at the fucking store, So I just try to let shit wash past me and not worry, right? And so by the end of the evening, by the time that they left, before the show was over, they had to, but by the time that they left, this, I want to say girl, she was a 30-year-old woman with Downs, but she was a girl. She was a really nice girl, really nice kid. By the time that she left, she was all smiles at me. Her frown had gone away. She had stopped looking down, and she was looking up, and she was looking up into my face a lot and smiling, and giving me these really, really happy eyes, which I just, and when she left, she bumped me with her shoulder, and gave me a big smile, and then she gave me a fist, and I gave her a fist bump as she left, and gave her mom a hug, and that was a really pleasant experience. That it seems like anybody else would have made such a big deal out of somebody wanting to interlope on their, this is my spot, I've been here for an hour, this is my spot, and a couple of years ago I might have been like that. But microdosing mushrooms and rewriting my brain chemistry, yeah, that was a beautiful experience, from the girls on one side of us to the girls on the other side of us, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. And as it turns out, the girl and her mother were actually at the Harriet show last year that I was at. And when she said, pardon me, getting a little emotional, when she said that her and her daughter were there, and that, oh yeah, we sat over there on the benches, right? All of a sudden, this light went on in my head. And I actually remember, because I went over there and sat down for a little while before the show started. I actually remember seeing them and sitting down next to this girl. Because for me, I don't forget people with Downs, because it's there were a couple of TV shows on in the 80s that were that had main characters, and the actual actors had Downs, and so these characters were really, really special. Was it House? Is that the name of the show? The kid that had Downs on him. Anyway, it was a great show. So I've always been kind of akin to people with mental disabilities, because I've always been a mental case, if you want to say that. I've always had mental issues. So yeah, it was really neat to be able to have that experience last night, and to share in making someone's experience pleasant. It was really neat. yeah, David and I both last night really enjoyed not only the show and the venue and the people and the atmosphere, but all of our little interactions. I mean, you meet people at a concert, you know, and it's like, oh, yeah, you got that shirt, oh, you got that hat, and that's about it. Oh, you were at another show, and that's about as far as it goes. You don't leave a show hugging the people that were next to you, like you came there together. And that was a neat experience for me. Um, I don't think I've been to a show where I hugged somebody who came to the show separately, unless I knew them. They were from my hometown. I was like, oh, like, hell, wow, what are you doing here? And I'm hugging people that I don't even know, and I've known for minutes. Uh, and that's neat. That's a neat way to live. I mean, the discussions that David and I had on our way home about that very thing, about going and making your life affect others in a positive way. I told him, like, everywhere I go, I'm a fucking rock star. Everywhere I go, um, it's 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 my world, and I'm gonna make a positive impact on every person that I come in contact with. Right? I want them to walk away from me going, "Wow, man, it was fucking cool hanging out with him." Or God, he said something really cool. He was really polite. Like the guy, the vendor at Pappy and Harriet's. And I just had to tell his boss that this dude fucking rocks, and he's a cool dude, and he's nice. Nobody told me that I had to do that. He it's not like I thought, well, this guy needs to be, needs a pat on the back. I just, the spur of the moment, I saw her walk away from him, and I said, "Are you his boss?" "Yeah." "Well, I need to tell you that this fucking dude is awesome. He fucking rocks. He kicks ass. He knows what he's doing. He's great with people." And I turned this like moment into just big smiles, and the guy actually came out and gave me a hug because he was so taken back that I would just go out of my way to build him up and say, "Hey, man, he's a really cool guy." And I had no idea who this guy was. I just know that every time I saw him working, doing his job, setting everything up, he cared, and that's important. And it's nice to care about people who care and let them know that you care about them, right? I got to warm it up. I need hot coffee. So yeah, we had quite a weekend, quite a couple of nights. All right, people. So, of course, last night, again, I wore my Willie Nelson shirt that I bought for the Pappy and Harriet show last year. Let's see. This one. All right. Yeah. So there's Willie Nelson smoking a doobie. So that was the shirt that I bought for last year's show. And I wore it because I wanted to get some kind of back and forth with Lucas Nelson. And it worked. At one point when he was out on stage, he looked down and at me into my eyes, looked down at my shirt, looked back up at my eyes, and gave me that Lucas Nelson little smirk of a grin, like that little knowing, I see something. And he, and that was about as much as he acknowledged it. I mean, he just kind of gave me that knowing nod, like, "Hey, that's my dad." And I don't know if the shirt is of his camp or if it's an aftermarket thing or somebody else stole the image, and I just know that I had to have the shirt. Um, and so it's a part of my collection out of respect to Willie Nelson and the Nelson family. Um, anytime I can, I will buy actual music and merchandise, pardon me, from the actual artist. And I mean by going to their actual website and buying it from them through the third party manufacturers or salespeople that they decide, not, somebody who buys it a bunch of records and then sells them off, twice the price. So while I almost got a signed LP, I still haven't even opened up the one that I have, the Sticks and Stones LP that I have. So I just decided to get the shirt for now, because I'm more of a shirt fanatic than an autograph fanatic. Now, if I could get, every band that my daughter likes or every artist that my daughter likes to sign their name on something for her, I would do it in a heartbeat. But it's not that important to me. I mean, making a handshake or a photo, or some kind of actual real life interaction, that would mean more to me than a photograph or a video or an autograph or something. The hug that I got from Big Sandy, I will take with me to my grave. Okay, my Big Sandy hug is one of those things that I will remember my entire life. The guy is a friggin' teddy bear. If I could give that man a hug every day, I would. Thank you, Robert Williams, Big Sandy. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to go see you guys again out here, preferably, because my venue of choice is close to home. I mean, even when we saw the Pappy and Harriet show last week, I mean, we didn't get home till after midnight. And we were up late eating food and stuff. I mean, it was a great fucking show, but we didn't have to do all of that driving. It was more entertaining than tiring, and that was something neat. My Acapulco Gold last night was really good. It made a couple of great, nice joints. I just took a big fat nug, broke it up into a couple of piles, and rolled some really nice joints with my old school yellow Zig Zags. Yellowed. Yeah, just great stuff, man. Just fucking, yeah. So if let's see, I wasn't around all week. Well, the last 2 days. So you don't know what's been going on, right? The last show that I had on Thursday last week was kind of a dud. Technologically, it failed on me miserably for some reason. And I froze or some crap. So that's right. I turned off my sound so that I could talk to my wife when she woke up, and my sound did not go off. Instead of muting it on the computer, I just muted my box here, but it didn't mute. It switched. When it muted, it switched to my camera mic. So I never went mute. I just was live on another microphone. So I bagged the show, and I need to go back and chop off that end piece. Or you'll hear me and my wife hanging out going, "Hey, what are you doing today?" "I'm not doing anything." "What are you doing today?" "I don't know." "Fuck, what are we going to do?" So I bagged that until I could tag it and clip it and ship it and all that shit. So yeah, totally. That was episode 12. I wasn't here Monday and Tuesday. Let's see. I wasn't here Monday because I had to sleep in so that I could get up late and so that we could take our daughter to the Honda Center and leave her and her friend Charlie for the Fall Out Boy show. And they had a blast. It was a phenomenal show. They played a lot of my daughter's favorite stuff. She got a couple of more shirts. She's a shirt junkie like me. In fact, she can go a whole semester in college without wearing the same t-shirt twice, right? That's fucking awesome. That's a t-shirt wardrobe. I could do the same thing. All right, I can go through a whole season of this and not wear the same shirt twice. I can go through 2 seasons and not wear the same shirt twice at this point. I've got so many fucking t-shirts. I was keeping track of what I was wearing, and I try to keep track so that I'm not always like, hey, you just wore that shirt. You know, if it's a shirt that I just wore, it's usually my I don't give a rat's ass shirt, or I hate morning people shirt. Those shirts are shirts that I wear a lot because they definitely say something about how I feel that morning. How do I feel this morning? I've had no sleep. Like I told David last night, in the last 72 hours, I have probably had 10 hours max, right? And that's insomnia for you. I mean, as much weed as I smoke, you think I'd be out, right? I mean, I smoke enough weed to tranquilize a fucking rhinoceros. And, you know, as much weed as I smoked last night, I was still looking over at my friend saying, you want me to drive? I mean, I'm wide awake, you know. Boing. And I was so wide awake. I was thinking, well, I want to get back to David's and I'm going to be wiped out. So I threw my bedding in the back of the van in case I just got to his place and decided I wasn't going to make it. And I got into the van. I was like, wow, it's cold, man. And I had a little trouble starting the van up because it was cold and sputtery. But it was like, fuck it, I'm going home, man. I'm wide awake. You know, maybe I'll find some fast food on the way home. It was either Jack in the Box or Castañedas. I didn't feel like either, so I came home and I had Nutter Butter cookies and milk. Yay! Thank you, Natalie. And of course, my daughter Natalie was awake when I got home. My wife was asleep, expected, but my daughter was awake, expected. She was up doing homework. What a kid. I think she knows that it's college that gives her opportunity to spend so much time going to concerts, right? I mean, if it wasn't for college, she'd be working a job somewhere and she'd be making enough money to get by, right? And she'd probably be trying to find more bills to pay, right? Ooh, I want that. Let me have another bill under my belt. And it's like, I see a lot of people her age going that way. It's like they just get out of school and they just get right into that modern slavery rut, basically, you know. And I'm trying so hard to keep her from going that way. You know, like, hey, when you get through with your, you know, she's going to earn her AA degree here by the end of the year, Associate of Arts in Psychology. She's going on to earn her bachelor's degree in psychology. I said, you know what? Earn your master's degree. Stay in school part-time and find a little job somewhere that you want to do, that makes you feel good, that you love, that you get up every day and I want to go to work. That kind of job, a labor with love, you know, do something that makes you feel good, that's a positive impact on not just the world around you, but you yourself. And I'm hoping that not only does she stay in school, but she finds a career that means as much to her as it will for the world, right? And those affected by her. Because that's important, you know, to mean something not just to yourself, but to mean something to the world around you, have a meaningful life, you know. I was talking to my friend last night about another friend who would, you know, he spent a year here in my home, and all he did was sit on his fucking telephone and surf on Facebook, you know. And it's like, dude, you got an opportunity here to change, to do something, and you just want to waste your days on fucking Facebook. And my friend is like, that is just, what a horrible way to live. What a horrible life, you know. And, you know, I really can't speak too much against one thing or another because I hate to be judgmental. And at the same time, I will spend a lot of my days watching old movies that I've seen over and over and over again, watching old TV shows that I've seen over and over and over again, listening to old music that I've listened to over and over and over again. Is that a waste of my life? Is that a meaningless life? I don't know. I don't think so. I think all of these things that I have going on in my head over and over and over and over again, they're material. It's the encyclopedia in my head. They're things that I use to create the things that I create. All of these experiences, whether they be my own experiences or experiences garnered from movies and TV shows and music, you know, that's all fodder for lyrics and music and ideas and videos and creativity, you know. Everything that comes out of my mouth harkens back to my childhood and the things in my head that I've jammed in there from my childhood, the things that I keep reloading into my brain, you know, because I want to remain in that period, in that past, in that time zone, in that era. I want to stay back there, right? So the more I surround myself with back there, the more I can remain there, you know. And it's like the guy just has no will to live his own life, and it's like, well, it's not true. I mean, I live my life for the present, but I live it in the past. All right. I am a today man yesterday. I'm a yesterday man today, however you want to say it. I'm, you know, me in the past are arm in arm. And I think that's how it should be. You know, you can't live the present and go into the future without using everything from the past to make those decisions. You know, well, I'm going to make a decision with absolutely no idea what's going on or what's happened or what's going to happen, right? And if you don't listen to the past, if you don't use the past as a lesson, you're going to get used. All right, it's bong hit time. Wow. Yeah. So Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real, they are the real deal. And well, look at that. Mm. And then we go morning show episode, season 2, episode 13. Mm. There you go, buddy. Well, yeah. The last couple of days have just been just a whirlwind. driving out to the city, man. So when we went to downtown Disney, um, what was really cool was they have an outdoor stage, and a lawn and real nice big comfy seats and stuff. It's Disney. So of course we're walking back, and I hear live music, and there they are. So there was Del Atkins, a bass player, a really good funky jazz, blues, R&B um, bass player, um, and his four-piece was really, really. The drummer was great. Did singing. He did a Marvin Gaye song, and then he did "Lovely Day," which was just like perfect song to sit down and then have a played "Lovely Day." That was just beautiful. I think I recorded it. If I did, I will upload it into a video. In fact, I tried to get as much stuff to make into videos as possible. Because I don't want to like say, oh, check out this artist. This is going to get me views and likes. It might be a little bit of that, but it's more about me wanting to share my experiences with you, because that's the whole point of my channel. This morning show, my Sunday morning stuff that I'm really, really working on heavily. And it would be nice to have a pilot of the Sunday morning. I haven't figured out the exact title of the show. Sunday mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy, or Sunday morning, or Sunday Crazy Sunday. I don't know. If somebody come up with an idea for a Sunday morning show title, let me know. It's going to be a variety of segments, video segments, my own video segments. I'll do something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and it'll be mostly new segments, and I'll throw in one old segment to kind of get people who haven't seen any of my older segments, kind of get them brought up to date. And then after the pilot episode and every subsequent Sunday episode has been on YouTube for a certain amount of time, then each of those individual segments will be broken up into their own individual playlists and segments, and uploaded so that you can enjoy them separately. Of course, once again, it gives me more video content, but it also allows people to have the choice to watch the whole show, or say, oh, check this out. This is that show, and let's watch this one piece because this is the one piece that I want to show you. Or somebody wants to watch that one thing over and over again. Segments like my documentary series about my life and Elsinore. I want to do borrow stuff from my father and his old videos that he made for college back in the 70s and 80s. Create new music and new video segments, out buying records and stuff. Photos from my wife's phone. I'll probably do some music, record some live music, and some other little segments, and then at some point get friends involved to put together little segments that I can edit into my Sunday show, and like the Friday night show. I want to do the Friday night show because I want to highlight people in my area, because there's a lot of people out here, artists and musicians and poets and mean, people who, there was one guy at an open mic, and his thing was all about breathing, and he just did chanting and breathing. And then at one point, I think he brought up a didgeridoo box, so it was kind of like a didgeridoo, and he did circular breathing. And if anybody knows anything about circular breathing, it's you're exhaling through your mouth while at the same time taking deep breaths into your lungs. So you have to compartmentalize your breathing so that you push air into your mouth, hold it into your mouth, block off your mouth so you're still blowing while you're sucking air through your nose and down into your lungs. So it's like you're like a bagpipe, right? And you're constantly bagpiping that air into your lungs at the same time exhaling it through your mouth, breathing into your nose, into your lungs, exhaling out into chunks into your, it's just a weird fucking, circular breathing. Research it, find out, watch videos on it, look at the Aboriginals, and there's, oh man, that's heavy shit there. I mean, you can start to you can hallucinate, you can see God and shit doing that circular breathing stuff. So I'd love to get people like that on my Friday show and interview them, talk to them, spend most of the show getting into their head and finding out who they are, and then having them perform a couple of their, arts, have them do what they do, so that we get a look at the different things going on out here in the desert, because there's so much diversity. I mean, all you got to do is walk down to one of these little clubs here in town at any Friday or Saturday night or Thursday night or Sunday night or something, and just walk in, and you will just be transported, catapulted, into a whole other realm, And David and I were talking about that, being pulled out of our comfort zones, or being, other people saying, hey, check this out, being open to the new experience, right? And then letting it affect you and letting it guide your creativity and your talents, Yeah, fucking A. Have a creative epiphany thing going on. I gotta warm this coffee up again. Look at that sun shining out there. It's really cloudy, so we're not getting any bright sun coming in. Yep, totally, man. Totally. No wedgie, no wedgie. Oh. Okay. Yeah. The whole of last week has just been, the last 8 days have just been fucking phenomenal, right? We were doing taxes, and I was talking to the tax lady, and she was like, man, I've had such a horrible month. I can't wait for this month. And I'm like, really? Man, I've been on top of the world this month. I don't want it to end. It's like shit, and then it went like, March has come in like a lion for me. All right. It has just come in, the Ides of March, right? Just fucking phenomenal. This has got to be one of the best marches in history for me. So that's cool. My father used to say that he always had good luck on his birthday, and around his birthday month, that kind of stuff. And good, that's cool. I hope that he's with me right now, and he's helping some of this rub off. I can always use the extra good luck. yeah, I mean, at the end of the month, meeting Ben Harper and Harris Harper and Mitch Rowland and Sarah Jones, and that whole Pappy and Harriet's experience last week, and then um, you know, anytime I take my daughter to a concert, whether I go in with her or not, it's always such an awesome experience because when I'm not there, I can so totally live vicariously through her. She records just about everything that happens on stage during the main event. Uh, so we can sit and share in that. I download her video and play with it and upload a lot of it. Um, and it's such a shared experience, even if I don't go in, right? Because I remember being her age and going to concerts and having fun. Uh, Granted, by her age, I had already seen concerts since I was 10, and she's almost 20, right? So while the 10 years between 10 and 20, that decade, I saw so much music, right? She's only been seeing shows for the last 3 years since Harry Styles in 2021. And she's already surpassed my 10 years, right? Seriously. And she's not stopping. She just early this morning. Um, but she and I are going to see Motion City Soundtrack, fucking A. That is a new group to me. They're doing like a 20th anniversary thing, I guess. And I just started hearing Motion City Soundtrack. So that should be quite an experience. I know that I'm not going to be around forever. Um, in fact, once again, David and I were talking about that last night, mortality and death and life and coming to terms with your own existence and knowing that you're going to die and not understanding any of it, you know. And I try to keep it, I try not to get too heavy into it. I try not to delve too deep into it because it only makes for more depression, right? And my whole life, I've had life and death on my head. Um, I try not to really get into it too heavy anymore. Everybody dies, and I know that, right? And so, first and foremost, that's the one thing that you have to remember and realize, and just know it in your heart that you got no say in the matter. You're born, you live, you die. Whatever that time span is, it could be a couple of seconds or it could be 100 years or more, right? Um, but that time span is unknown to us. We get what we get, how we get it, where we get it, when we get it, why we get it. It's all a crapshoot, right? So there's no need for me to delve into serious contemplation about the whys and the wherefores of any of that, right? My most important responsibility to myself is to enjoy this life that I have to the best of my ability without harming those around me with my actions, right? I mean, what more could anyone ask for, you know? Um, do what you're going to do. Just make sure it don't fuck with anybody else. Don't screw up anybody else's good time with your good time, right? So if you can think about it like that, uh, and you know, try to be good to yourself as well as those around you. I mean, I want to leave with as much happiness and good experiences inside of me as I can, because I think that's going to make for a better exit. And I want to leave as many experiences, positive, good experiences, with my family, whoever remains, right? So they can share that happiness, right? That I'm trying to exude, trying to put forth out into the world, you know, because you know what, I don't want to go out pissed off, you know, holding on to some rage because someone cut you off in traffic and you're still pissed off about it. And then, you know, you're checking out and that's the top thing in your head, you know. I mean, go out. If you're going to go out, try to go out with a happy thought, right? Think of your family, smile and think of your family, you know, think of something that makes you happy on that moment of exit. And then just try to do that. Try not to think about the exit because that's a little too much to deal with, you know. It's inevitable. So, you know, one thing my father taught me was not to worry about anything until it's there, and then it's too late. And I've always used that, you know, at least I try to. You know, when I'm taking a test, just don't fucking worry about it. When I got to go to a job interview, just don't even think about it. Put it out of your head until it's like, oh shit, I got to go do this, and then just go do it. Right? And that's always worked for me. If I can, you know, if I can do that, if I can pull it off, and then it works miracles. So in death, I'm, you know, striving to be at that point to where I've got enough happiness going on in my head and my soul and my heart that, you know, I won't be so wrapped up in the end, you know, be more wrapped up in the past than in the inevitable future, you know, because what are you going to do? You know, you can't fucking change a thing, and if you can prolong it, you can try to do these things to put it off, and you could try to extend your life by taking care of yourself this way or that way or this way or that way. But then, you know, you accidentally step out in front of a bus, and that bus takes you out, and you're gone, and it's over, you know. And so, you know, no matter what you do, you never really have any say in what your shelf life is here. You know, it's just, it is what it is. It's going to happen how it happens. It's going to turn out how it turns out. So at this point in my life, I'm just trying to accomplish as much as I can for my own sake, as well as for my immediate family, you know, because they're the people who are going to be left with the memory of me, right? So I want to leave as much good memory as I can, as well as take enough good memories with me to help catapult me to wherever it is I'll be going, right? And that's how I look at that. That's how I look at death. You know, just do the best you can while you're here, and try not to worry about what's going to happen later, right? Just try to be as good and do as good and feel as good here. And the more good that you take with you, I think the better the outcome is going to be in the end. So be as nice as you can be to people. Be as helpful as you can be to people, especially strangers, whenever possible. I found out not so much to people that you see different than they really are, because people are this, you know, the people are the way they are, and then you have this vision of the way they used to be, and they come back into your life, and they're not that, right? They're not that. They're this, and they haven't been that in so long. They've been this going back, you know, years, and so the person who you thought was this over here is not this over here anymore. They're this new thing, and they're not the person that you remember. You want to believe that they are, so you see them as that, but more and more and more, they morph into what they really are. You know, and then you're like, oh my God, what did I do? You know, what the fuck did I do? You know, you invite a vampire into your home, and you're screwed. You know, Lost Boys. You have to invite him in. There you go. Yeah. So the more good, positive experiences I can create with my wife and daughter, um, they're positive hits on my soul. So that's what I'm shooting for. The more I can be nice to the people around me, whether I know them or not, is more positive hits on my soul, right? And that's all I can do. Um, I've never been a perfect person, if there is such a thing. Um, I've always tried to be nice and polite, just because I never got that, and that's what I always wanted. I wanted people to be nice to me, regardless of what they saw when they looked at me. I just wanted them to be nice to me. So that's what I try to do, people. I try not to look at that thing that people wear on their outside, because we're not this. This is just the barrier that I keep between me and the rest of the world, right? This is just a shield, a costume, a wall, um, um, an environmental suit that I wear going out into the world. That's my exterior. But we're not that. We're what we are on the inside. And I just want people to, you know, be nice. Um, Fucking dust or something. Uh, so that's what I try to do. Just be nice, and hopefully that will start like a snowball effect, a chain reaction of niceness. You know, um, and I do believe that it comes back around. If you keep putting out nice will start to come back around at you. Uh, and again, what more can you ask for? Niceness. That's all we need, is a little niceness. If we could be nice and kind and courteous first, and then think about all of those things that divide us. Well, those things that divide us aren't so crazy, you know, if we set aside, you know, all the hate and the misunderstanding, because no matter what people think, no matter where they are in the world, or who they, vote for, or what they believe in, or who they see themselves as, right? We're all exactly the same, right? Up to a point, everything about us is exactly the same, until we get to the point to where we are influenced by the mass of what's going on. I got to go check a dog. I'll be right back. I'm going to mute this real quick. Hello. Did you see Big Face as she came through here? Big Face Bessie. There she is. She's over there sitting down in the sun. She's got the sun shining right on her now. I better throw a blanket on her. She looks a little cold. There you go, baby. Here's a warm blanket for you. There you go. All right. Now she looks cozy. There you go. I sure miss the dogs when we go out. We came back from Monday night's trip out to the Honda Center in downtown Disney, and our little whitey, biscuits and gravy, Oliver. He was God. I hope I didn't say that too loud. He'll wake up. I think it's time for something to eat. But he was hobbling one of his feet, and his nails grow really quick. His front nails, the two on the front of each paw, even the back ones, they grow really long, really quick. So we didn't realize that we had, things have been going on, and we didn't realize we hadn't taken him in a little while to get his nails trimmed. He won't let us do it. He gets really angry when we do it. If somebody else does it, he has no choice. He's got to suffer with it. So he's, somebody just holds on to him, and he just puts up with it, because he doesn't know what these people are gonna. I don't know exactly what he's thinking, but it's better that somebody else do it. And then I'm not his enemy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm just the guy that took him there, which is a lot better than being the guy that forced him to have his nails. Let me hold you, and then mom's gonna cut him. And no, we can't do that. Not with Sam or Oliver. They don't like that. So I don't want to take the dog out of them. So I let somebody else deal with that, and then I'm still their buddy. So I had planned to just kind of rest Tuesday before the show, but I couldn't. I think I got probably 10 hours sleep in last 72 before yesterday, right? Or like last night. And I'm still but I'm probably at 11 hours now after last night's sleeping malfunctions. So I had planned to just lay in bed and rest and try to get a lot of sleep, and it just did not work. So after rolling around for hours and hours, I finally got up and just decided, okay, let's take Oliver to get his nails done, because I cannot stand to see him in discomfort. So I had my wife drop my daughter back off here because she was at a vacation rental with her friend. Actually, her friend dropped her back off here when she got back into town, because they had to take her friend Charlie to the bus stop to catch her bus back to Arizona. So when my daughter got back into town, she came here, and we went and took Oliver in, got his nails trimmed, and he was walking much better, and that made me really happy. But I lost a little bit of rest, and it slowed me down a little bit, so I was a little late getting down the hill to my friend to leave from his house. But it was all worth it. Is there somebody there? Looks like somebody popped in. Good night. I'll be back on tomorrow. Pinky promise. Aw. Aw. Let me type a little Message. Oh, there we go. How do you spell tomorrow? I thought I spelled it right. Dang it. Oh. Oh. I don't know. I don't know. It says I got it wrong. I think I got it right. There we go. So yeah, I missed you. I was spaced out or something, or maybe this happened while I was checking the dog and taking a leak. But yeah, Enviced. I did. I missed you. Enviced is the viewer from Bernai, and yeah, Pinky Promise. I'm hoping that you can show up tomorrow for the last show of the week. I seem to have my technical issues straightened out for now. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping that you can, you know, totally stop by and hang out. Um, yeah, so I took Oliver in and then got back on schedule, and my daughter made some lunch. Um, so I was able to eat a little something before I left. And it was, man, overall, it was um, like the cherry on the top of a just a bitchin' week, you know. Um, just a really awesome week. And the eighth day yesterday was just bitching, just bitching. I mean, from last week on Tuesday night when we went to Pappy and Harriet's to last night, Tuesday night, it was just everything, you know. I mean, I got to work on a lot of music. We had a dinner party um, at the vacation rental. Thank you, Ron, for the house. You are just phenomenal. You're one of my favorite people on the planet for so many reasons. So thank you, Ron and Viv. So we had we tried to utilize the house. Um, of course, my daughter would have just liked to keep the whole house to herself, and it's only a couple of blocks down the street. But we have such a small place here, and it's just not um, it's just not feasible to have guests in a big situation here and dinner party. So we thought, you know what, since we're doing that over there, and Mom says, make that mushroom dish that you make, which is beef stroganoff, actually. I make um, just a kind of my version of a gourmet beef stroganoff. I used to make it like with strips of meat and peas and kind of a creamy sauce, old school style, and it looked like chipped beef in the army. And then I never liked it. It was like it was okay because that's what I, was raised to eat. And then at some point, I decided I want something different for beef stroganoff. And I fooled around with a couple of different recipes, looking at different things. And so I came up with this, you take some chuck roasts and you chunk them into blocks, and then you sear them, and then you slow cook them on the stove for like 2.5, 3 hours until it's just falling apart, right? With onions and thyme and pretty much nothing more than that, and salt and pepper and butter and oil. And then you add in the cooked mushrooms, and I like to use at least two kinds, but you can use 3, 4 different kinds of mushrooms together. Mushrooms, I use as much mushrooms as I do meat, so it's an even balance of mushrooms and meat, and then put that on a bed of noodles with sour cream, extra sour cream on top, and some parsley and hints of whatever else you want to put in there to zing it up. But yeah, that's my take on beef stroganoff. So Hilda my wife wanted to do that, and it was like, okay, well, let's do that. But if we're going to do it, let's invite some people over, because it's a big deal and it takes all day to cook. Yeah, and I like to share the experience with people. And since they are my favorite family, like ever, I was going to say in the area, but they're all family ever. So it was like, we don't get too many opportunities to get all of them together in one place. I mean, sometimes when we go over to their house to hang out or for dinner or something, it's like, one of the girls are gone, and it's like, oh, darn. But it was so cool because they all came over and hung out. And I got to drag my daughter out of her room from studying, so that she could hang out for an hour and eat and socialize and stuff. And it was neat because his girls and our girls all sat at one table, and then the wives sat over at the counter bar, and then Dave and I sat on the couch, and it was kind of neat. I don't get to do dinner party things much, and everybody was exhausted from having worked, to me and the wife and the kids from their day. And, Dave, he was exhausted as well. So I knew, it's like, we're going to be here maybe 2 or 3 hours and then it's over. Put the kibosh on it, everybody go home and go to sleep. And of course they showed up hungry, so it was awesome. They showed up late, but my dinner was late, so they showed up just as I was putting the finishing touches on everything and making plates. And then afterwards, I got to share some of my new music with David and the whole family. So that was really bitching. I don't get to play for people much anymore. Not since I used to go to the Renaissance Fair and sit in the campground after and before the fair and at night. And then I used to play, and that was cool. But that was back in the mid '90s. So I don't play for people other than my wife and daughter, and then David, and now his family. So I'm, he's convinced that I can just get on stage and turn it on and be that, but I ain't been that in years, and I haven't aspired to be that. So it's nothing that I can just turn on. Had I been working on it for longer, sure, I could just turn it on and be that guy. But I don't have any desire to be that guy, nor do I want to be that guy. So I'm going to go about being me. And then at some point, if I get up on stage doing a live mic thing, I will be able to do it comfortably, because I will feel like I want to do it and not like I was coaxed into doing it, or nudged into, go ahead, you can do it, don't worry about it. So my YouTube channel and this stuff here and my experiences with you all is kind of more important to me, because this is something that's going to last indefinitely, because I have my thinking is to go ahead and take all of these and then record all of my stuff, not just back onto my own computer, download it, put it onto a hard drive, and then take it from a hard drive and upload it onto disk and thumb drive and stuff, so that I can save all of these things for future use, and even go as far as to record some of my stuff onto Betamax and VHS, right? And even record some of my music onto reel-to-reel and cassette. Why not? I can do that. I can just take my out jack from my computer here and in jack it into the freaking I got to reel set up here. I mean, and the cables are right here. So bada bing bang boom, I'm recording audio from my computer onto my reel-to-reel. Same thing with the video. I got video here, and I can run video line from my computer right down into my VCR. So boom, 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 boom. It's all right here. New school into old school. You know, if I can get to where I'm comfortable doing that on a regular basis, then I can send, and all of this stuff can be archived, and I can send copies to my brother, who is in a bad internet, a bad access area. So he doesn't really have access to any other stuff. Yeah. So, like I said, you're probably looking at me and thinking, well, he doesn't look like he's been up for 80 hours with little sleep. But yeah, I've had about 10, 11 hours sleep in the last 80 or so hours. Probably not a good thing, but it's normal, really, honestly. As things accelerate and snowball and more things are going on, I tend to get less and less sleep. So I'll hit a critical mass where all of a sudden I'm out. But then I'll only get like 8 or 10 hours sleep. Then I'll get a normal night's sleep. But I really gotta spread myself thin in order to get to where my body wants that kind of sleep. So I'm going to go here and yeah, I was going to leave a heart or something, but I think I'll just do that. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, what am I? Here I am. As you can see, it's kind of a mess in here as far as this goes. I got my music stand here because I've been sitting here at this chair practicing my songs. And I did a lot of it over the weekend, especially Saturday before our dinner party, because I wanted to feel comfortable. And I knew I was going to play my stuff for David. I didn't, I put it out of my head. Like my father said, don't worry about it until it's happening, and then it's too late to worry. So I didn't really even contemplate the fact that there were going to be other people there. I was just worried, or not even worried. I was just focused on, I want to get these songs right so I can share them with David and not feel weird about screwing up all the time. Oh, I'm just fucking an old goof. I don't know what I'm doing, right? So I really worked on, a handful of songs. Because there was actually two that I wanted to play for him. The Bob Dylan song, Lay, Lady Lay, and which I'd been working on for a while. And my new song, Let's Go to the Movies. So I worked on those two, plus a couple of originals, Doing That Dope Again and Slip Into a Groove. So I worked on those and then a few others. And I did. I played Let's Go to the Movies. And I got a lot of positive feedback from the girls. One of his girls said, I really love that song. That is a really cool song. And I thought that was really neat. I mean, that was just that one little compliment was just so awesome to hear, someone young say that they really like my music. Because I don't play any particular style or genre. I guess I would be folky, right? Or outsider music. Because it's different. It's novelty music. It's You know, it's not new stuff. It's nothing like anything that's out going on today. You know, country may be the closest, but um, and I do use country, you know, country twang in my voice in a lot of my music. But that's just because it's comfortable to sing it that way. You know, like Australian guys singing with a perfect American accent, you know, or English guys. I mean, it's just, you know, feels better, sounds better. Ah, so yeah. Um, that's let's go to the movies. That's probably going to be on my Sunday show if I can put that music video together. Or what I might do is just do a live recording of the song, just me and a guitar, and use it during a segue in between going from one video segment and then a little dialogue, some music, a dialogue, and then another video segment. Maybe that would be better. And then I could, of course, do my dialogue and then just switch to another camera so that I can have editing abilities. Or when I go to do my dialogue and then just do a quick zoom digitally so that I can go from dialogue and then edit to, you know, whatever take 27 where I get the song right. And then I can do a pullback to the segue into the next segment. I think that would probably work. So I probably won't do any special effects when I turn this into a music video. If this is the version that I use, then I'll just use the video, alter it, and then enhance the whole music video itself with photographs and video snippets. And maybe that'll work. So I don't know, you know. Totally. Yeah, man. Some awesome shit. But I really love this song. It was only yesterday that I've been able to keep it out of my head, and mainly because we didn't listen to anything on the way out there or on the way back, which was great because I'm used to doing that. I'm used to taking long drives with no sound, just the sound of the road, some conversation, the sound of my own head. Yeah, because I've always got an inner dialogue going and I've always got some kind of song playing in my head. So having no sound is actually better for that. And because there was no sound and more conversation, I was actually able to get that song out of my head. And I've been out and seen live music 3 times, and Tuesday night, and then the whole week I could not get this song out of my head. I'm at a concert listening to live music at Pappy and Harriet's, and I've got the live music happening, and then I've got that song in my head at the same time, and it's like I'm trying to pump up the volume on what I'm witnessing, and my head just keeps trying to kick this thing up. And so that just tells me that I need to keep working on it until I can get it recorded, and then get it in the can, and then do that. I think once I get there, then I'll be able to pick it up and play it without having my lyric sheet, which is kind of where Lucille is, and That's All Right. Those songs are songs that I can pick up and play and not have to look at the lyrics. So that's pretty cool. Oh, who's got a... What is this? What? Someone just sent me a message that says, call me. And I don't know who this person is. I do not know this person. I do not know any of this person's friends. She kind of looks familiar, but no. Why would you do that? See, now I have to hide her comment. I have to hide it. Because I don't want to see her phone number. Why would you send somebody your phone number on Facebook in a comment, right? So that means that everybody can see her phone number and thinks that she knows me, right? Call me. Yeah, I don't think so, lady. No, I don't just call random people because random people say call me, or you join one of those groups, a fan group, or you just make a comment on one of those groups, I'm going to a show, or, ooh, that's a neat, and then all of a sudden you're getting messages from people. Hey, I got ticket to go. Hey, I got VIP. It's like, fuck you, give me a break. Do I look that stupid? I mean, I know there's a lot of stupid people out there, but do I look stupid? Because I ain't. I may look crazy and weird and old, but I ain't stupid. I'll do whatever you want. I'll call you. Yeah, lady. I don't know who you are, but I'll call you. I'll send some money to you so I can get a ticket that doesn't exist. Give me a break. You think I am a boob? I don't think so, Brianna. And if we happen to actually know each other, why are you contacting me like that? There are so many other private ways to contact a person. Why would you do it that way? Post your phone number on a public comment? Public. That means worldwide, dummy. That means anybody in the world right now can see your phone number. Well, let's sell her phone number to the highest bidder. Now you got telemarketers coming after you. You got every kind of stupid scammer trying to take advantage of you. Idiot. Where do they make these people, right? I mean, the people who think that people are stupid enough to, and then the people who are stupid enough. Where do they come up with them? I don't know. I just don't know. Contemplating whether or not I want more coffee. I probably shouldn't. I've been pretty heavy on the coffee this last week, working on videos and music and stuff. So I'll probably just go nix on the more coffee and go yes on the more weed. But what do I want to smoke at this point? I've been doing this 8-track stuff, big 8-track, like 8-track tapes. This is an 8-track tape. This is an 8-track tape, and this is 8-track. Where am I at here? There we go. This is 8 track. So, of course, I'm a guy who likes 8 tracks and vintage, and just the name 8-track drew me to this. Not to mention the price. The price was pretty good too, which was another selling factor. And then there was the name of the strain, Acapulco Gold, right? Perfect. So this is what I rolled a couple of joints out of last night for the show, using my time machine and my Zig Zags, my old ancient Zig Zags. I actually bought a carton of vintage Zig Zags, so that I could actually be vintage in my stuff, you know. And so that at some point when I'm doing little care packages to send to drawing winners, because it's not a raffle, you don't have to buy a ticket, you don't have to buy anything, all you got to do is just leave a comment that says, ooh, I want to play, and then I'll pull your name out of a hat. You know, if you're the only name in the hat, well, then I guess you're going to get a little care package from me, and it could have anything in there, you know, a vintage matchbook. Matches probably not included. A pack of papers. I mean, there's so many T-shirts, stickers, you know, old bumper stickers. I mean, there's just so many things that could possibly be gifted to you just for hanging out. Say, ooh, I want to be one of those people, you know. Because it would mean more for me to pass one of these things or some of these things along to people than to have them just sit here, you know, because I'm experience these things for myself, but it's a lot more fun for me if I can share that experience and pass it to somebody else. Say, ooh, now look, you're a part of this. My coffee's cooling down too quick. I got to warm it up again. So,
hey, Margaret, the guy's giving shit away. He can't give stuff away. Nothing's free, Harry. He says he's giving it away.
But yeah, I mean, well, who's going to pay for postage? Well, if it's in the United States, in the, you know, the lower 50, if it's in the continental United States here, you know, below Canada, above Mexico, you know, New York to California, you know, East Coast to West Coast. If it's on this continent here, in this little northern America, then you know, if it's something that I choose to send to you, then of course I'm going to pay the postage, because you know, you probably won't know what you're getting. Well, I'm not going to pay postage on something I don't know what I'm getting, because I want it to be a surprise for you. So more than likely, I'll, you know, the smaller items, that, you know, the things that people don't really know that they're going to get, you know, the surprise thing, I'll take care of the postage on that. I mean, a couple of bucks here and there. I mean, it can't be all that bad. I mean, I'll go stand out on the street down here on the highway in Joshua Tree and sell off a couple of 8-tracks, you know. The tourists just gobble this stuff up. So I could literally walk out onto the street with a case of 24 8-tracks and hold it up, you know, and have it sold off within a matter of minutes for, you know, $100 or more, literally. And I'm looking at, you know, $5 worth of stuff. So, you know, to each his own. You know, everybody sees something different in everything. Of course, I see these items that I pick up for next to nothing, because most people don't want this garbage. And to me, it's gold. So I pick it up for next to nothing or nothing, and hold on to it, because it means something to me. And if I find that it means something to somebody else, well, I'm going to share it. You know, because a lot of this stuff didn't take much to acquire, but some of it did. But most of it didn't. You know, the things that took something to acquire, you know, were for a purpose. All of these other little things that I just kind of pick up, you know, it's because I cannot help myself. It's like, oh, you're going to give that away, I'll take that. You know, oh, what, $1 for that? Pfft. You know, give me a break. Sure. Crazy old weird bearded guy out buying records and stuff. You know, I just can't help myself. My wife would love it if I would help myself. I kind of feel like there's a method to my madness. I just haven't caught up to what that method is yet. Like my YouTube stuff, you know, I just kind of let it play itself out organically. And when I feel something that is working, then I just let it pan out and let it and just kind of let it feed itself. So I'm gonna close this curtain here because this light's driving me nuts. Right. There. Take that light. Whew. It was getting a little harsh on the eyeballs, wasn't it? I love my new shirt. That is so cool. Dog. Big dog. All right, I'm going to get together another bong hit. So my show is not for kids because I will use foul language and I will often smoke marijuana and talk about drugs and drug usage. And while I don't use any hate speak, I'm anti-hate speak. I'm anti-hate. There are things that I dislike. And then there are some things that I actually even hate, but I try not to dwell on such things. It's not good to dwell on negativity. So I try to keep it positive, you know, try to keep everything upbeat and positive. Sometimes I feel negative and I've got to vent, but I don't mean any negativity directed at anyone. I just have negativity directed outward of me, and putting it here allows me to get it out, while at the same time letting it be known that I'm a human. I have feelings, you know. I mean, I feel like some days I cannot go into the world and walk out into the world and show emotion, actual real emotion, without feeling like I'm going to get tackled by, you know, the local PD. You know, he's showing emotion, tackle him. He might freak out, you know. You know, it's okay. It's okay for people to yell and scream and to vent and rage, you know. I mean, if I want to stand somewhere and scream top of my lungs that I'm pissed off, what's the harm in that, right? I'm not hurting anyone, right? I'm not embarrassing anyone except for maybe myself, right? So what's the deal? Why should it be a bummer? You know, a public disturbance. I mean, no, that's just a way for people to throw you in the fucking booby hatch and then categorize you for the rest of your fucking life. No, you should be able to have emotion and not be afraid that somebody's going to tackle you and put a straitjacket on you. So the whole weed thing keeps me pretty sedate from yeah, that's got a bite to it. That King Louis VIII, that is some severe indica, and has just got some hellacious bite in the lungs. I'm gonna go back to the sativa here because I want to kill pain, but I don't want to wake up. Indica is a good painkiller. It's not so much for the head as it is for the body and the pain, whereas sativa is more for the head and the high, and not so much for the pain relief. It does a little bit, it helps, but you know, indica has a tendency to get me all fired up and wanting to do something, and I don't want to do that today. I'm too tired. At some point, I'll go in there and check my calendar and see if I need to go out and help the missus with anything, or vice versa, or whether I just need to do something. But at some point, I'll probably lay back down and try to get a couple of hours in so that I can get back to video. I need to video. I did a few days of making some music videos from past concerts and reels and stuff. So I'm going to step away from that again and get back into editing my own video footage. I have to put together another segment. Let me just check my notes here. I need to put together another segment. Yeah, I need to do a music video. So that's probably going to be a segue dialogue part of the actual show. And then I am going to try to find something on one of these old 3/4-inch U-matic tapes to upload and share. And it could be one of my father's shorter video projects, or it could be one of the longer ones, which run about 20 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see what I pull out, what I use to test the upload. And then if things are labeled, then I haven't looked at them recently, so I can't recall if anything is labeled. But I will try to figure out something really, classic me, or at the very least, classic family stuff. So like I said, the Sunday show, the pilot episode is going to be something old, which will be one of my first videos on YouTube. Something new. There's going to be a lot of new segments, pilot segments, something borrowed. That'll be something from my father's video production collection, and something blue. All right. So maybe that's just going to be wardrobe. Yeah. So I'm really excited about getting this going. While YouTube and their media library has helped supply me with tons of music and sound effects to really extend my production capabilities, I still need a few little segments of cover music played on acoustic, right? So while I'm waiting for that, and hopefully I can get some of that soon. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to try to get some of these other video segments completed, so that if it winds up that I cannot get said acoustic guitar material, that I can substitute something in there and just let it go. Because I don't want to run into copyright infringement issues with YouTube. And one thing I'd like to say is thank you, YouTube. I had uploaded a copy of the latest song that I wrote, and I uploaded it on a private playlist so that I could check it out and listen to it away from home and share it with people and get input on it. And so when I did that, of course, it ran a copyright check on it, and they said that it was a cover of Ramblin' Fever by who was that? Rambling Fever, some country western artist, right? And I was like, no, No. So you have to decide whether is this a cover, is this a parody, is and I was like, no, this is an original song. It has you know it has three chords in it that are basic chords played in almost every freaking song, right? The three basic chords, um, G, C, and D, right? How many millions of fucking songs? So, and it's just some average strumming. I mean, it was like nothing, you know, where you'd hear me strumming and you go, "Hey, that's that song," right? There was nothing fancy about the strumming that I was using. So I'm like, how could they possibly think that this was a song called Ramblin' Fever? And so I looked up the song, found it, listened to like 15 seconds of it. Like I'd never heard this before, and this sounds nothing like my song. So I disputed it, and after a few days, I got the word that I I won my dispute. That yes, this song, in fact, indeed, is mine and not theirs. So now I can claim copyright on it. So at some point when I upload this particular song, I will claim copyright on it and not allow remixing. Um, but I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, thanks to YouTube for that, and the fact that I finally discovered their media library and have been going hog wild listening to every single track that they have, looking for the right sounds for each video. And that's real important to get something to have the emotional feel that you want it to while you're watching it. Have a little bit of music in the background to help the the emotional guidance, right? So yeah, that's really cool. And there's this one artist on YouTube, Media Library, Track Tribe, just fantastic stuff. I've really fallen in love with a lot of that stuff. So I'm probably going to use a lot of that. And then I'm the kind of guy who likes to give credit where credit is due. So I will probably, in my end credits, a lot give credit to the YouTube artist who created these wonderful jams, because they're just, I mean, one guy sitting there in a room programming a bunch of stuff, and then maybe putting on a guitar and wailing away, and it's really neat. It's really neat stuff. I mean, they're musicians too. I mean, I'm not, but they're just like every other artist out there. They're just hidden away in a room somewhere, you know, like those headhunter studio musician guys. We hear them all the time and never knew that. Hey, that's that guy. You know, I'm going in. So I did find that I was able to go live Monday night. Nothing that I did processed out into a playlist. So it says that I went incognito. I don't want to be incognito. I want to view my channel. There it is. Playlists, live. Yeah, so the live stuff that I did has not processed through yet. Oh, yeah, they did. No views, no views, no views. So it looks like they've processed, and now once I get done here, I'll go into my studio and set up these 3 little videos I did while I was out. Live videos from downtown Disney. I did a pocket shot where I had the phone in my pocket, and then I did just a couple of walking around, hey, check this out shots. But that, it was my first attempt at going live, and I wanted to see what the outcome of the live thing was. And yes, it did make it to my playlist. It took a couple of days to process, and I don't know why. I think they said something about that when they introduced me to the live So I think right now I'm on like a probationary live period. As long as I don't do anything weird and I get views and likes and stuff and subscribers, that I'll be boosted up into the next level and get the ability to do more with the mobile live stuff, and that'll just kind of open up more. I could have gone live with the Lucas Nelson show or some portions of that, and it would have been nice if I had remembered to do something out in the smoking area when I went out there and puffed down my doobie. But yeah, we'll get into more mobile live stuff as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I can't go live from Pappy and Harriet's because they're up in the mountains in an old movie set town where there's just no service. There's just crappy internet service. So unless they'll let me log into their Wi-Fi, I probably won't be able to go live from Pappy and Harriet. So you'll just have to settle for whatever video I capture while I'm there. Yeah. Well, the coffee is helping keep me alive. And I don't think it's going to keep me awake. Well, not much anyway. It'll probably help wake me back up in a couple hours. But I think I will be able to go lay down for a little bit. It's almost 8 o'clock. The wife is sleeping in. I don't think she's got anything going on today. So I'm not going to wake her up yet. Maybe I should go check and see if she wants to get up. Well, isn't that sweet? She's sleeping too peacefully, and I haven't got the heart to wake her up to ask her if she wants to wake up. She does have something on her calendar. It's Wednesday, so she goes out and helps a friend on Wednesday. But she may have moved it to another day and just not put it on the calendar. So if she's going to go out today and go over there, she's probably going to be going out a little late, or not at all. She's been really busy helping me fill in when I've got to go out of town and do a lot of driving and stuff. I know I can't sleep a lot, so I try to rest a lot, laying down, closing my eyes, laying in bed. Pardon me. Sometimes I'll just lay in bed for a few hours, and I won't really get any sleep, excuse me, because it's the middle of the day and there's, the dogs are finding something to bark at, or there's dishes being washed or someone gets in the shower. So there's always something going on to keep me awake. And it's a small mobile home, so the walls are thin, so everything that goes on can pretty much be heard. I think my daughter has the best room. I think her walls are insulated because her room has been drywalled. So I'm pretty sure her 2 interior walls are better insulated than the rest of the house, because she cranks her music in there and I can't hear it. And I crank my music out here and she can't really hear it. The TV she can hear because I think it's a more direct shot at her door. But yeah, There you go. There you are. Anyways, I forgot where the hell I was at. I'm just getting my my coffee buzz on here. Well, that was such a good hit. I think I'll take another one. So I've been cobbling together lists of songs that I want to take a stab at playing. I love to find cover music and then try if I can learn it, right? And let me pick up my my music book here. So if I find a song and it's like, you know what, that one feels good listening to it. It feels like it might be right for me to learn, right? And that just usually means that it's pretty basic. And so I like basic. Basic means easy. Not always, but basic usually means pretty easy. So some of the originals that I have cobbled together to learn, or did I say original? Some of the covers that I've cobbled together to learn. Serenade, done by Steve Miller. Paint It Black, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards. Cracklin' Rose, Neil Diamond. Take It on the Run. Gary Richrath, that's Take It on the Run. That's oh, who is that? Is that, it's not Loverboy, it's the other one. It's not fucking, you'll figure it out. Lucille, of course, recorded by Kenny Rogers. Pencil Neck Geek, Freddie Blassie. Roller Derby Queen, Jim Croce, one of my favorite ones to sing. Unknown Stuntman, the theme song to Fall Guy. That's All Right, an Elvis Presley song. Bad Blood, Neil Sedaka, and a bunch of others that I'm just kind of fiddling around with. But so those are books that I put, or songs that I put in my book, with the chords and the changes and stuff. Pretty basic. Just I just learned tablature. I don't I learn where to put your fingers, and that's a G, and this is a D. And that's what I learn. I don't learn anything more than that. It's pretty rudimentary. It's pretty basic. I teach one hand how to hold the strings over here, and then I let this hand do whatever the hell it wants, because it pretty much has a mind of its own, and it will decide for itself what it's supposed to be doing, when it's supposed to be doing it. So I really have no control over my strumming hand. I have to force all of my focus onto my my fretting fingers, because that's where all of my issues are. Getting my fingers to cooperate. This one will nail it every time. This one here is the one that fucks it up. So yeah, I learned basic tablature chords. These are some tab chords here. And I just will learn the chord and then just write the name of the chord. This is the G here, and then okay, we're going to go to a D on this word here, and that kind of stuff. So some of the songs that I'm looking at now to write up into the computer and print out with the chords so that I can practice and practice and practice. Never Fall in Love Again by Dionne Warwick, one of my favorites. I've got a shitload of her stuff in the W's over there. Late Night Talking, Harry Styles. That's one of my favorite off Harry's House, his last LP. I hope Harry's coming out with something new soon. I don't want him to go on tour, because my God, the guy put himself way out spread himself pretty thin for like 3 years. I mean, that tour just went on and on and on and on and on. It's like 1975 at their very best, and now they're still at their very best, and now it's going to be still at their very, very best. I mean, it's just going to keeps going and going, right? So let's see. Samantha Sang did a song called Emotion with the Bee Gees. All right. So I'd like to kind of fiddle with that and see if I can make something out of it. A song by, I think it's Arlo Guthrie, The City of New Orleans. Right. Gilbert O'Sullivan, Alone Again. Oh yeah, Spill the Wine, right? Eric Burden and War. Let's see. I was looking at Wasted Days and Wasted Nights because Big Sandy and the Flyride Boys covered that at the Pappy and Harriet show that we saw. So I did a short about that because we only recorded a few, just like a minute of their show. So I put it into a short. So check it out on my channel there. Boogie on Reggae Woman, right? Stevie Wonder. I thought that would be a really interesting one to do on guitar, and maybe with guitar and harmonica or something, right? Love Unlimited did Love's Theme. It's a theme song, right? I thought it would be it's like a disco thing. I thought it would be really cool to do that Love's Theme, or with acoustic instruments rather than all of the electronic techno stuff they're doing. Ruby, my friend David said that he saw that the other night at an open mic night. I thought, well, that's cool. That would, So I looked it up and I thought, okay, well, I'll play around with that one and probably play around with some more Kenny Rogers songs, because I've been a Kenny Rogers fan since I was 13 and was in the fan club, joined the fan club. And then the last one here on my list so far, there's probably another list around here, is Mind Your Own Business by Hank Williams Sr. And that's a great one. And then I'm looking at that one because I've been listening to a lot of rockabilly lately because of Big Sandy's influence. I've been listening to a lot of other stuff. So every once in a while, I'll write something down so that I can remember, to look something up. What do we got over here? And a bunch of pieces of paper everywhere. Okay, here's another list of songs. Sharing the Night Together, Dr. Hook, right? That's a great one. So I want to look at that one. A Horse with No Name, right? What's that, America? Your Smiling Face, that would be James Taylor. Listen to the Music, Doobie Brothers. And John Handy doing Hard Work. And that's just an awesome tune. To me, that it's like a Lovely Day. It's just got a great, a great slogan and a great beat, great tempo. So there's some of the songs that I'm playing around with and contemplating playing around with. Now, usually I get to a point to where it's like, yeah, this is going to work, and I'll be able to play with this more and do something and work it into something that sounds more like me, right? And there are some songs that I'm doing that don't sound like me yet. I don't really feel comfortable until they sound like me, including the new one that I wrote. When it sounds more like me comfortably singing it, then it's going to be ready to do something with. And I'm hoping that it's going to be like this weekend. Even though this is only Wednesday, if I can work on it in the next couple of days, I can get it to where I can nail it on video. And I really want to get a harmonica break in this new song. because I think it merits it. I think it needs a little bit of harmonica in the beginning segue, and then the middle to the end segue part transition. There's a little. I think it needs like a harmonica chorus because it's verse, chorus. It's all kind of the same. It's just all kind of one verse, chorus. I don't know how to say it. I'm not a musical guy, so I don't know how to explain what the hell it is that I'm doing.
Oh, you're doing that thing over there, yeah.
You know, drop some bars and do some beats. You know, I have no fucking clue. I'm not going to try to sound like I know what I'm doing because I don't. You know, I'm trying to make music and record stuff. That's what I'm trying to do. Hold on a second. Let me mute here. All right, I'm back, baby. Okay, well, it looks like the missus is awake, and I am going to mute the microphone here when she comes back out. Hopefully, the whole muting thing won't disrupt the broadcast, but we'll see. I think turning off my audio feed could be what set my audio malfunctioning last week, because I couldn't find anything on my computer that was where my microphones used to be. So I had to reboot some stuff. So hopefully I figured out those bugs. And hopefully when I hit mute now on my computer rather than on my mixers and stuff, that it will it'll do, you know, an easier job technically. I had a bummer where I was getting this feedback between this microphone and the camera microphone, and it was just getting this really weird whine back and forth. I don't know if any of you heard that, but when I tried to get on and listen to it, maybe it had something to do with it hearing the sound of what I was listening to and going back around. So you got me. I don't know anything about that shit. You know, all I know is what I know. What I do is what I do. So, you know, fucking amen. At some point, I will mute the microphone here again and discuss the goings on today with the wife. So, and then I'll be back and we can go further. So I won't put up my standby screen because then people are going to go, what the fuck's going on? I figure you can just look at my empty room if I'm not here, or me, you know, doing a mime, right? So anyway, give me a minute. I'm going to go mute and see what's going on today in the old, crazy old, weird bearded guy household. Okay. All right, people. See you in a minute. All right, people, I'm back, baby. We're going to call it quits for the day. Things are starting to take shape and the day is starting to happen. So I will get back to you tomorrow for the last and only second episode for this week. So thank you all for stopping by, especially Inviced for happening by here while we were live. And do come by tomorrow. You pinky promised. So come by tomorrow so that I can talk about my experiences, you know. I think it was either you or Krim who was into Harry Styles. So yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about Mitch Rowland. Let's talk about Lucas Nelson. Let's talk, people. I will see you tomorrow, Thursday, on the 7th of March. Thanks for coming by, people. Adios, weirdos.